Alrighty. My name is Katie Rabalos, and my presentation is on the country of Spain. I chose Spain because Spain is a really interesting country. I've always admired learning about it. And actually, last year I was given the chance to go study abroad in Spain. Unfortunately, because of COVID, I got that opportunity taken away. But just like being able to learn about Spain is really interesting to me. So, yeah, okay. So, some facts and statistics about Spain. So, the capital of Spain is Madrid, and as of 2019, the population is about 46 million people. It might have increased, but as of 2019, that's what it is. The nationality of Spain is Spanish, and the location is southwestern part of Europe. So the government in Spain. In Spain, their currency is ran in euros. And Spain is a constitutional monarchy. It's ran by a king, and their current king is Felipe VI. So some of the spoken languages in Spain are Spanish, Galician, Catalan, Basque, and Aranese. I tried to find a picture that showed like all the different places that they speak the languages, but they didn't have like a picture that had like all the languages that I have just listed to you. However, I've read like many articles that have the same languages listed. And Aranese is just one of those languages that isn't spoke very often, but it is enough that it is in many articles. So yeah. Moving on to the religious side of Spain. So religion. Spain is mostly Roman Catholic. They have had in the past groups of Muslim, Jews, and Christian believers. However, they might still have them, but it's predominantly ran by the Roman Catholic people. And then for festivals, I chose like 4 festivals that I thought like were really interesting. So the first one is Semana Santa, which is translated to the Holy Week. It's the most important week of the church. It is the week that leads up to the crucifixion of Jesus. So if you look at the last slide that I posted, which I will just go back to it, in this picture, they're actually celebrating La Semana Santa, which is a whole bunch of people gather around and they put on these outfits and they cover their heads with like these like cone-shaped hats, and they carry a big like recreational statue of Jesus and his crucifixion, like his walk to the his crucifixion. And they basically carry this and they say like it's their burden, like they want to carry it to show Jesus that they're like fully committed to him, and so that is how they do it. So then the second festival that I found interesting was the Fallas of Valencia, and it's just a big display of fireworks, and it typically lasts 5 days. And then they have La Tomatina, which is a big food fight. Basically it's just like tomatoes, and that's actually the picture that I have posted right there. It's just a big food fight with tomatoes. It looks really fun, and anyone can join in, and there's no set rules. You just go around and throw tomatoes at people. So yeah. And then the last one is the Festival de los Patios, and that is a way to show off your patio garden. And again, just like the Tomatina, it's just for fun, and anyone can join in. Moving on to social customs. Typically in the U.S., when meeting someone, we shake hands, which eventually turns into a hug. And in Spain, greetings typically start with a handshake, and they gradually increase to like different like greetings based on like the gender. So for men, the handshake goes to like almost like a side hug with a pat, or like a holding hands with a pat. It's the picture at the bottom. And then for women, it goes from like a handshake to like kissing the left and the right cheek. Yeah. And then things to never do in Spain: never ask for food or eat food after 9, never talk about religion, and then do not go out on Tuesday the 13th because it is unlucky, because for Spaniards, Tuesday is tied to war, and so they don't want you out on the 13th. So gender roles, before Spain was very against women working or having power. Women were to stay at home while the men were to go to work in order to provide for their families. And over time, things have changed, and there's equality on almost everything except for wages in the workplace. Men typically get paid more than women. So yes, before women were to stay at home, take care of the families, and men were to go to work and make money to feed family. And then things that I learned in class, I learned the masculine ways before. So like, obviously, like I just said, men go to work, men provide for families, women stay at home, they cook, they clean, they watch over their children. Yeah. And then the unspoken cultural practices, like things I had said before that I forgot. Let me go back to that train later. And then their beliefs, they're very firm on not talking about their religion, but most of them are really religious. So just like making sure that we keep our beliefs to ourselves and stuff. Their values, they value family very much, very, very much. And yeah, and then stereotypes. I learned a lot of different stereotypes that I found were interesting. Some of them were true and then some of them weren't. And I only did like 4 of them, and I picked the ones that were like not true because I think it's kind of funny that people really think this. So number 1, all people that are Spaniards know how to dance flamenco. And then number 2, they all love bullfights. And number 3, they all are dark-skinned with brown eyes and brown hair. And I can tell you that this is a lie because I had a professor in college, and I loved her, but she was definitely pale-skinned with blue eyes and orange hair, and she was the sweetest Spaniard I've ever met in my life. Yeah, and that they all live in Madrid. There's definitely more places to Spain than Madrid, and they're really, really interesting. So, yeah. And that is all that I have for you. Thank you.